Ryan hit me up and said, you need to prevent yourself from missing out on this title. Don't cancel it. We chatted about this one run of books, and I fell off. But you're holding me to it, and I know why.
I'm holding you to it in spite of a lifetime disinterest in this character, too. We're talking about the Hulk, and speaking from 100% honesty, the Hulk is a character I have never really cared about before, at least up until reading Immortal Hulk by Al Ewing in 2018.
Have you read Hulk prior to Immortal Hulk?
I did, and I read something that I loved. I liked Immortal Hulk, but I tell you what I loved more, and it's a tough one, is Planet Hulk. Planet Hulk, like, I don't generally read superhero books. I like to read the non-superhero stuff I tend to enjoy more. But Planet Hulk was so amazing and captivating that it took me to World War Hulk and all the side stories on top of that. But Immortal Hulk is, again, a very interesting take on Hulk and was very captivating and fun to read as well.
And there was a pretty big gap in between Planet Hulk and Immortal Hulk as well. So you were off the Hulk train and then back on because of Immortal Hulk, similar to Ryan, similar to myself. Another recommendation of Hulk stories is the Infinity Gauntlet crossover, by the way. Hulk turns into it's actually courtesy of Thanos when they're fighting on Battleworld for the first time. Thanos like shrinks him, so he's like Ant-Man size. And there's a whole narrative where he's like just chilling with Abomination, and Abomination thinks he's God and that he's talking to this like higher power the entire issue. It's a single issue that has stuck with me for so long. But I digress. We're not talking about that book. We're talking about the Hulk, because once Al Ewing passed the baton, who did it go to?
So yeah, once Immortal Hulk reached its 50-issue mark, they announced that the new creative team being Donnie Cates and Ryan Ottley on the art, at which point I couldn't cancel the book. I was going to give up on the Hulk because I figured there'd be no topping Immortal Hulk and what Al Ewing was able to do with that book. Hulk was on the chopping block for sure until they announced Donnie Cates is the new writer, and I'm like, I got to read it. It's Donnie Cates. I got to keep him on my pull list. So I continued on with Hulk for about 14 issues or however long his run ultimately ended up being. Spoiler alert, I did not end up loving it.
Did you fall off after Immortal Hulk, or did you keep reading to Donnie Cates' Hulk? Because during that transition, I was about to stop reading it until Donnie Cates took it on.
I stopped reading around after issue 15 or so. So I didn't even get to like the other great parts of things to come. I got to hear how it kept getting so stupendous and amazing. But that's only me. Like, I do that with TV shows too. I'll watch the first 2-3 seasons, think it's great, and then something else will take my attention and I'm like off of it. And so that's my own fault. But I hear how it's pretty freaking amazing.
Well, unfortunately, as it pertains to Donnie Cates' Hulk, which is like Spaceship Hulk, you got Bruce Banner trapped in the brain of the Hulk, man in the station. It's pretty cool.
It's out there. It's very strange.
But that coming to an end, there's going to be another transition, and I'm hearing crickets right now. But then, bomb dropped, the next writer on the Hulk has me back in, which is why you can't cancel Hulk. And if you already did, you need to get back on.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I just like the Hulk. Maybe that's what this whole experience is teaching me, because I keep looking for a reason to get off the book because I don't think I like the character. But then you get Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk leading into Donnie Cates, and now they've announced the next creative team on the Hulk, which will be one of my top favorite writers right now, Philip Kennedy Johnson, with art by Nick Klein on the new run of Hulk that starts very soon.
So this is a writer that you got to pay attention to. He single-handedly made Superman relevant all of last year.
Yeah, if you're one of the basically everybody out there who says Superman is lame and not worth reading and he's got too many powers and he's boring and I don't care, you need to read Philip Kennedy Johnson's run on Action Comics, specifically the War World saga. It's great. It's really good.
Superman is stripped from all of his powers and has to go full savage on a different planet. It's fantastic. You even get a team up with James Gunn's next project.
Right. Yeah, he brings the Authority with him to help free the slaves from Mongol and War World because it's too dark of a task to bring the Justice League along on. So it's good stuff. But I mean, I think he's one of my favorite writers right now for a reason. His run on Alien was phenomenal. He's writing a 007 comic for Dynamite, which is also weirdly really good.
What's this guy's name again?
Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Also check out The Last God, one of my favorite things I've read probably ever.
And this is why I wanted to bring this up today. So many of the comic reader community is focused so much on the IP. I'm reading Hulk. Hulk's not that great right now. I'm moving on to something else, or I'm just pulling it off my pull list. the better way to go about navigating the waters of like what's the next comic you should read, it should be less about the IP. Yes, if you have a liking to a character, follow your character. I'm not saying, don't read what you already love, but you have to give a added layer of attention to the variable that is the artist and writers, because when they come together and do something, they're typically taking on things that is available. And sometimes that availability makes something spontaneous. It makes something great, i.e. Superman, i.e. what could be the Hulk.
I mean, yeah, like when you mentioned the artist-writer combination, I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, you had the beginning of an amazing story with Immortal Hulk, but the captivating artwork of Alex Ross, who just crushed all these covers. I almost bought a cover, all right? I was this freaking close in the beginning to getting one, but I didn't quite read the story yet, so I was like, I should probably read it. And I mean, I look back and kick myself for it.
I remember being at San Diego with you in Chris Rupp's artist booth, shout out, and that's where they display all of Alex Ross and Bill S.'s art. And you were looking at that stuff for quite a long time.
I was, man.
He was hemming and hawing. Are you canceling Hulk? And I want to see some like participation in the comment section. Are there writers and artists that you follow regardless of what they're creating and taking in new IPs that you may not have otherwise added to your pull list? Give some recommendations in the comment section below.